Metroid Prime 4 releases tomorrow at the time of this recording, and yesterday the embargo lifted on reviews for publications who had early access to the game. So they've all posted their reviews, and the Metacritic page is all nice and filled out, and we are going to look at them. We're going to look at some of these reviews and see what people are thinking about the game generally, which is a little bit nerve-wracking, naturally. It's pretty important how people receive this game and how critics communicate how much they liked it to the world. I'm not going to be reading any full reviews. Obviously, don't want any spoilers, but I'm we got like these little summary blurbs here. And for starters, the overall Metacritic score 81, generally favorable. It's it's not bad. It's obviously not as high as it could be. It is on the low. It's definitely good. It's favorable. It's a little bit on the lower end of good. Once you get down into like the 70s, that's when like the color changes. We'll see that in a bit. So it's certainly not bad. Yeah, 61 positive reviews, 14 mixed. None of them are outright negative, and so that's pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just start looking at them. Start off with a PC Magazine. Okay, well, yeah, just seeing that there are some major publications who gave it a perfect score. That's nice. That's really nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, PC Magazine. Gorgeous, highly entertaining, and a thrill to unravel. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond on Switch 2 is the best single-player shooter in years and a triumph for gaming's coolest heroine. That's cool. I like that. I do like that. The best single-player shooter in years, coming from PC Mag. That is rather surprising. So I like that. Nintendo's, I'm not as familiar with. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is, without a doubt, the return that fans of the saga have been waiting for almost a decade. Retro Studios has perfectly balanced the classic essence of Metroid Prime with innovations that revitalize the experience, delivering an adventure that, while accessible to new players, maintains the challenge and depth that defines the franchise. The game's unique atmosphere, the richness of its world, and its gameplay, deeply integrated with exploration and combat mechanics, make this installment something truly special. That's nice. That's another real good one. And then Giant Bomb coming in with 100, with a perfect hundo. Despite a few tweaks and new features, motion controls, psychic powers, a non-linear hub world, and the occasional side character, well, that's nice to see, non-linear hub world. I like that. This is Metroid Prime through and through. It's without a doubt the closest the series has ever felt to the original Metroid Prime in terms of tone, gameplay, and quality. I like that. Enjoyable to hear. Time will tell where I place Metroid Prime 4 in the ranking of the overall series, but fresh off my first playthrough, I feel comfortable putting it among the likes of Super Metroid and the original Metroid Prime. It's the best Switch 2 title yet, and I have to imagine that fans of the series will find themselves captivated by Metroid Prime 4. Yes, please. Thank you. Yes. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel much more confident in the game. I like that. So some really, really, really great, like, top marks from a couple big publications. And then we get down into the not quite perfect Sector.sk. I don't know what that is. Level Up, Nintendo. We got 295s here. Triumphant return for Retro Studios, delivering a masterfully crafted Metroidvania that captures the atmosphere, tension, and immersive world design that defined the original trilogy. Intelligent level design, fluid controls, striking art direction, and a strong sense of discovery. I like that. Whoops. What did I just do? Why did it just take me to a different... Bring me back here. What is this? Why would you do that? Why would you... Bring me back to the... What are you doing? Okay, we're back. I don't know why I did that. The kind of return the series deserved, staying true to the original formula while adding fresh ideas, stronger storytelling, and smarter world design. Tense, clever, atmospheric, and consistently fun. So more very high scores, and then dipping down just a little bit more, Nintendo. 92, still very good. I mean, anything above a 90, Video Chums. And yet, Nintendo Life themselves gave it a 90. Gave it a near perfect score, a 9. And they don't have points, it's like basically a 10-point scale. So 9 out of 10. After 18 years of waiting, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond manages to replicate that magical sense of discovery from the GameCube original while pushing the series in some incredible new directions. Separating the main biomes with a so we are hearing stuff about this open world. It really is starting to feel like kind of what we expected. Just kind of like, yeah, main areas sort of separated by this big desert place. Sounds ridiculous on paper, but the slick traversal provided by Viola makes exploration more satisfying than ever. Combine this with the stunning art direction, ferocious new boss characters, and a surprisingly endearing squad of Federation troopers. Good to hear. And Beyond is quite possibly the boldest, most well-realized Metroid game to date. Make no mistake, the long wait has been more than worth it. Welcome back, Samus. That's good. 90's pretty good. Got a 90 from Shack News, Forbes, IGN Spain, Press Start Australia, Saudi Gamer, GameOver.gr, IGN Portugal, Voxel, Tierra Gamer. That's a lot of 90s. That is a heck of a lot of 90s. That is nice. And then we start to finally dip down into the 80s. Power Unlimited gave it an 89. Game Informer gave it an 88. My annoyances with Beyond are vastly overshadowed by a pristine, rock-solid science fiction exploration experience. That's cool. And yeah, and yeah, from what I hear, the game does a lot right. You know, and even if like the whole like, you know, the atmosphere issue, the quippy characters thing, you know, even if almost everyone agrees that it is annoying, it doesn't necessarily like ruin the game or whatever. There were some worries about the open, you know, quote unquote open world or whatever it ends up being, open zone. Seems like that's still pretty okay. Mostly positive is what we're seeing. Mostly positive stuff with like a couple annoyances. But that's, I mean, that's pretty standard at this. Like, what game doesn't have a couple annoyances? Yeah, we got some high 80s, getting down into the mid 80s. Plenty of these. I've not heard of most of these. I mean, it's good to see that Nintendo has been giving out a lot of review copies, it seems. Lots of mid 80s. And then, okay, and then now dipping down. My Nintendo News gave it an 80. Lower on the positive part of the scale. Showcase for the Switch 2 and consistently entertaining action-adventure game that delivers a polished experience, but dedicated fans may find it doesn't live up to the wait and a series name attached to it. Interesting. So they say it's very good. It might not necessarily live up for fans. For steps taken forward in specs, production, and quality of life, there are others taken backward through strange quirks in story and gameplay. Despite its failure to meet the moment, however, it remains to be one of the most exciting games to grace the system so far and a worthy addition to any Switch 2 library. So they say it does have some problems. Some fairly annoying problems. Overall, pretty good, though. Screen Rant. Metroid Prime 4 dips and dives so often, you won't be stuck in a section you aren't enjoying for long. The Gamer, Tech Radar, lots of 80s. GameSpot gave it an 80. Sometimes feels like a product of its notoriously long and troubled development. At moments, it serves as a time capsule for gaming trends that have come and gone over the last decade, like a sparse open world and a squad shooter with AI teammates. Those elements are decently made, but not as expertly crafted as the more traditional Metroid Prime exploration and storytelling. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is uneven and messy in some respects, but at its best, it meets or exceeds the best moments the series has to offer. Yeah, that's something that is being echoed by a lot of people. Where it does good, it does real good. Silicon Era, Nintendo Insider, lots of 80s. IGN gave it an 80. Gotta read the IGN one. It doesn't take psychic powers to see the ideal vision Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was aiming for. It tries to mix the excellent Prime formula with a character-focused story and a large hub world to explore. It doesn't quite reach that ambitious goal with an outdated open desert area that mostly feels like padding. Okay, so there are some people who kind of dislike the desert area. And a cast of characters that provide both a handful of memorable moments and too much chatter at times. Don't like that. Dislike. But none of its issues come close to ruining Prime 4, which is still an excellent comeback thanks to incredible peaks that are almost entirely self-contained from its stumbles. I'll stop there. That's a pretty good amount. PC Games, Guardian. All right, so now we're getting down into the 70s, the lowest part of the positive part of the scale. Destructoid only felt to give it a 75. And it is, for the most part, worth the wait, and while several nagging issues prevent it from true greatness, it's a fun and exciting new chapter in Metroid that no fan will want to miss. Oh, there we go. The color change. Quotation forthcoming. Ooh. Ooh. Chilling. Chilling words. Games Radar gave it a 70. Finally here, after an 18-year wait, at its best moments, it feels like no time has passed at all, as I'm awed by the melancholy and mysterious vibes of this exploration-focused FPS. But at many other moments, it's bogged down by odd new features that detract from what's almost one of Samus's best. Yeah, that's what I'm really worried about at this point. It's frustrating playing a game that's like, this would have been the best game ever if Nintendo hadn't just messed up this one or two things. Like, it's so frustrating whenever that happens, and so I am a little bit worried that it's just like, yeah, it could have been great. It's just a couple things. It's like, why did you do that? Yeah, being so close to greatness can sometimes be the bitterest feeling of all. Yeah, I totally understand that feeling. And but let's look at the positive side. The good stuff is really good. That's what everyone keeps saying. The good stuff is really, really good. So now we have some lower than 70. Game Cult only gave it a 60. Obviously the weakest entry in the Prime series. Woof. Overall level design. Well, hold on. But this central desert that impoverishes the overall level design is a major flaw one simply cannot overlook, as its harmful influence can be felt throughout the entire game. Add to that an omnipresent, I lost my spot, and irritating hand-holding, a story that handles its antagonist and secondary characters very clumsily. So this person did not like the desert. They felt that was just like bad, just a bad thing. Game Reactor UK, pacing issues in the first and third quarter. It's very specific. That's good. With frequent letdowns, lukewarm ending. Only fans like me will want to complete it. Wow. That's pretty rough. 60, still technically on the upper end of the scale, but no, I don't know. VGC gave it a 60. Ouch. Ouchie wawa. Feels like a game stuck between two worlds. When it's emulating previous entries, Beyond is a blast with excellent boss battles and some truly gorgeous environments to explore. But this is eventually bogged down by out-of-place additions, awkward storytelling, and overly aggressive hand-holding that spoils the I mean, there's nothing worse. There's no combination of words that could scare a person more. You know, for really any Nintendo game. Lots of them have been kind of messed up by the hand-holding, but like Metroid. Ugh. Overly aggressive hand-holding that spoils the discovery. It's literally the worst thing you could possibly, like... It's the worst... See, and that's the thing here. I'm trying not to be worried. I'm going in with an open mind. But the fact that anybody thinks that about a Metroid game, no, that is scary. Not gonna lie. That is rather scary. Gaming Bible seems to not enjoy the feeling of emptiness. Eurogamer only gave it a 60. So yeah, it's a little bit scary. There are some larger publications that are giving it lower scores. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is enjoyable enough and has glimpses of vintage Metroid shining through, but this game could and should have been so much more. And looks like a few, that don't necessarily have, I guess Polygon didn't give it a score, but I don't want to read this one. Between all the failed experiments built to resuscitate a once powerful series, there are sublime moments that keep pieces of its legacy sacred. You can gather hope in its remarkable level design, its evolved item hunting, its genre-hopping action set pieces that thrill even when the companions can't stop yapping through the tension. There is a future in Metroid Prime 4, so long as someone is brave enough to excavate the seed from the wreckage and replant it in healthier soil. That's good writing. I'm always jealous of a lot of I'm not as good at writing reviews as a lot of these people. I love reading, like Polygon, they do good reviews. So yeah, that's worrisome for sure. The overall consensus is definitely that, like, it's really, really good when it's good, even if it's got some stuff bringing it down. Everyone kind of agrees it's got stuff bringing it down. It just comes down to, like, how much that stuff bothered the individual reviewers. Some people thought it bothered them a lot, and for some, it could not do much to mar the greater experience. So yeah, that's basically it. That's basically the reviews right now. We'll see if the Metacritic moves around at all, or if this is mostly it for major publications contributing to the score. And of course, when people get their hands on it, then there will be an audience score. We'll see how that shakes out. But yeah. So that's yeah. That's that. Those are the early reviews for Metroid Prime 4. And apparently there's a new SpongeBob game called Titans of the Tide. This is the first I've heard of this. It's available now. This is the absolute first I've heard of this. Titans of the Tide. Huh. It's on Switch too. Yeah, news to me.